Hi, I'm Emily from Iron Edge and I'm going to be taking you through the kettlebell overhead press and some overhead pressing variations. So the kettlebell overhead press, we need to start with rack position here. Really important points, you want the handle sitting diagonally across your hand like this, so that one corner is in the webbing between thumb and forefinger and the other side of the handle actually connects with your wrist. You don't want any gap there. Really important so that you can keep a neutral wrist. With these pro-grade kettlebells, you'll want your thumb somewhere in line with your sternum, so your hand around the midline of your body. You don't want to go too far out to the side. You want to have the kettlebell sitting in a nice V here, with it resting on the forearm and on the bicep. Where possible, you want the elbow connected to the body, or as much upper arm connection with the body as you possibly can. From here, we're just going to go straight up into overhead lockout position. It's a very vertical press with the kettlebell. You don't want any abduction and external rotation of the shoulder. So we're just going to go straight up overhead into overhead lockout position. Overhead lockout position with the kettlebell, you want a slightly externally rotated shoulder, so little finger turned in roughly 20 to 30 degrees. You want your bicep roughly in line with your ear in profile. You want the weight of the kettlebell sitting over your hip and your heel. So this will mean just very slight anterior pelvic tilt. You also want to have your arm locked or at anatomical lockout if you're hypermobile. Straight back down. So all together, looks like this. Straight up, straight down. So you can see it's a very vertical press, no twisting and no turning. On the side, straight up, straight down. So that's your straight overhead press. We're now going to look at a couple of variations. The first is the palm press. So I'm going to swing the kettlebell up into my opposite hand. I'm going to have the handle resting against my wrist. I'm going to spot with my other hand and I'm going to watch the kettlebell for this one in case I'm going to lose it. So from here, pressing straight up and back down. So this is obviously much more difficult because the kettlebell's become much less stable and I can't grip it anymore. I'm using an open hand. The next variation is similar to that, but now the handle is away from my wrist. So again, I'm going to press and straight back down, always spotting with that other hand so you don't take your teeth out. The last one that we're going to do is the bottoms up press. So with bottoms up, this is going to train your crushing grip strength, and basically you really just want to crush the handle, turn it to dust. So crushing the handle, again spotting with the other hand, pressing overhead and straight back down again. So there you go. There is the kettlebell overhead press and some variations that you can use to make it a little bit more difficult.